'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
And you already know the rest of the story. Santa sneaks down the chimney like a burglar and leaves gifts underneath the tree. But if you've been naughty, he fills your stocking with bitter black candy. Wait, that's not candy. Then he touches his finger to his nose, flies right back up the chimney, takes his sleigh pulled by flying reindeer over to the next house. And he does this all over the entire world in the span of about 24 hours or so. Or does he? If you live in the United States or Canada, you might think that Santa flies all over the entire world giving gifts to children everywhere. Yet you just assume that people celebrate Christmas the same way across the globe. But no, it's not that small of a world. Let's take a look at the origin story of this jolly old elf. And I'm sorry to say that it's nothing like Batman's origins, though that might be a good thing.
I'm Bad Santa.
Yeah, anyway. The American tradition started with the Dutch tradition of Sinterklaas. Get it? Santa, see the connection? On the evening of December 5th, Sinterklaas would bring a present to every child that had been good in the past year. The most common types of gifts were things like the first letter of the child's name made out of chocolate, a chocolate statue of Sinterklaas, colored marzipan shaped like some fruit, or an animal. So Sinter likes giving away free food and pet donkeys. Go figure. As for Mr. Claus himself, his traditional dress is, well, just that. A red bishop's dress along with a matching mitre. His method of transport is a white horse that he rides over the rooftops of houses. And he is assisted by many helpers with soot-black faces and Moorish dresses. Well, it is an old legend. Yeah, well, maybe they're Labradors. Or maybe they're chess pieces. Or maybe they're as white as polar bears and a lizard and they're just covered in soot. Take your pick. Now, of course, that's only part of the Santa that we know now. Yet another part of our holiday tradition comes from Germany, with their jolly old St. Nicholas. Weird spelling, I know. During the night of December 5th to December 6th, children put their boot outside their front door in the hopes that St. Nicholas would soon come along and give them gifts galore. However, he checks up on the children to make sure that they've been good, and if they haven't, he'll give them a boot full of coal. Apparently the good kids will probably freeze if someone in the house hasn't been naughty. Yeah, congrats, big guy. You've encouraged naughtiness to save ones on frozen toes. Yeah, maybe I'm overthinking it. It's probably just I don't know. Maybe getting coal is a punishment. Maybe he says it is candy and they eat it. That's just horrible. In Sweden, children await the arrival of Jultomten, a gnome whose sleigh is drawn by the Julbacher, the goats of the Norse god of thunder, Thor. It's like a comic book plot that existed before comic books even existed. Awesome. He's dressed all in red from his head to his foot, and he carries a big old bag of toys on his back. In Denmark, the gift bringer Julmanden also carries a sack, but his sleigh is pulled by... take a wild guess. Not even gonna try?
Okay.
His sleigh is pulled by reindeer. Similarly to Sinterklaas, Julmanden has little helpers as well. These are elves known as Julnis, and they are said to come from the attic, where they live to assist Mr. Mandan. Children put out a saucer of milk or rice pudding in the attic for the niece, and they always hope to find it empty in the morning. It's like exchanging a thank you and you're welcome with people you'll never meet. Kinda sad, but it's still kind all the same. Our look at Mr. Kringle's origins draws to a close with the French version of Santa. Père Noël is our culprit in this country. His name literally translates to Father Christmas. People often mistake this with Papa Noël, which literally translated is Daddy Christmas.
Daddy.
According to tradition, on Christmas Eve, children leave their shoes by the fireplace, filled with carrots and treats for Guy, Père Noël's jackass.
Jack.
Mr. Noel takes these with gratitude and, if the child has been good, leaves presents in their place. They'd usually be things you could, fit into small shoes. Something like candy, money, or a copy of the Bill of Rights. Nah, I mean small toys. Now that the origins of the Man in Red are done, let's look at Christmas traditions on other corners of the earth. Like in England, Father Christmas is pretty much just Santa Claus with a British accent. Though some difference is that families decide to leave a glass of sherry, mulled wine, biscuits, and chocolate for the man. But, we don't want Santa getting drunk, so we leave him milk and cookies.
Some British, American, and Canadian families decide to leave carrots or some other treat for the reindeer.
Isn't that sweet? In Soviet Russia, presents give Santa Claus.
Or more appropriately, presents give Babushka. She's an ageless wanderer who gave the wise men one directions on their way to see the baby Jesus. And on the evening of January 5th, the eve of Three Kings Day, she wanders from house to house, peering into the faces of children and leaving gifts. I have no idea why you would do that. I mean, if your parents were to do that, that would be very understandable, but seriously, would you trust someone like that with your children?
I don't know, maybe she scans them with her x-ray vision to see if they've been naughty or nice.
Makes you wonder if any of the Santa Claus traditions around the world, aside from ours, have actually had updated technologies in any pieces of media. In Italy, Santa is Babbo Natale. He's generally Père Noël again, leaving gifts in kids' smelly little shoes. However, in most areas of Italy, Mr. Natale comes on the Epiphany, which is called Little Christmas. This is the day for gift giving. I wonder if there's also a day for gift taking. That would probably be called Big Fat Honkin' Lie of a Christmas, otherwise known as the You Saw It Coming. Shangden Lauren, Hotiyosho, and Baba are Santa's names in China, Japan, and India. Not much else to say beyond that point because, well, Santa is as Santa does. Let's just leave it at that. In Syria, a Middle Eastern country, the youngest camel brings children's gifts on January 6th, which is Three Kings Day. Actually, this is an interesting question. What dictates the youngest camel? I mean, I know it's probably the camel that was born last, but seriously, how does that camel specifically know to bring gifts to children? Does he have a GPS once he's born? Like, you're the youngest camel, you get this sack of presents to bring to kids on Three Kings Day. Don't ask me what else, just go with it. There is a similarity in Spanish-speaking countries such as Mexico, Puerto Rico, Argentina, Brazil, the Philippines, and Spain, although it's the three kings, or wise men themselves, that bring the gifts to the children. Yeah, it's not really a fat guy in a red suit, but it's definitely better than nothing. In fact, it's probably better than Santa Claus. I mean, they're giving out free gold, frankincense, and myrrh. What kid would not want that? I mean, that's just awesome. You know, usually the winter holiday tradition will fall in December at some point, but apparently it'll also fall a month or so later. But nonetheless, they share the same general idea. Someone will come around once a year and give the good little kids of the world gifts. It'll always be someone, because in the spirit of giving, Santa just might be someone to give you gifts. Whether that is a person you know, a fictional character, or heck, I just think Christmas is awesome. And I heard them exclaim as they rode out of sight, "Merry non-denominational winter holiday to all, and to all a good night."